As a matter of fact, the only things that separate human beings from every other species on earth, two powers, reflection and imagination. And this morning, just for a moment, I'm going to focus on reflection. We have this incredible ability to reflect on who we are, to reflect on how we want to be, on what we want to do, to reflect on what we can do to make our lives happier and more fulfilling. We have this incredible power of reflection. And in the present moment right now, I can reflect on your beautiful faces. I can reflect on the gorgeous day outside. I can reflect on Millie singing. I can reflect on the love window. I can reflect on all sorts of things that bring me joy and just fill me with an abundance of life. Or I can let my reflection go awry and reflect on what happened earlier in the week that was sad and it was demoralizing and it caused me to worry. Or I can reflect on what might happen tomorrow. Oh my gosh, the end of the month is coming due and we got bills to pay and what about this and what about that? But reflection is dedicated to the present moment, right here, right now. Now, in addition to our power of reflection, a spiritual attribute, we also have the power of choice. Each and every one of us. We can choose to be here and now, or we can choose to allow our mind to drift into the past and wallow in those swamp lands of negativity and experience all the doom and the gloom that we can muster up in our imagination. Or we can allow our reflection to move into the future and just wonder and imagine what's going to happen next, what's going to happen next. Or we can choose, and it's our spiritual duty to choose, it's our spiritual responsibility to choose to be here now. You stop and think about it for a moment. Every time your mind is preoccupied with something that has happened in the past, every time your mind is preoccupied with fears and anxiety about the future, you lose a moment of your life, never to be recaptured. You lose a moment of your life. So the practice going forward is to be aware of where our mind is in any given moment. And when it starts to wander, pull it back. Look around. What is in the present moment that gives you a feeling of being alive? And it isn't that difficult. You know, several years ago, I refused to wear a seatbelt. I didn't like being strapped in. This is before they started arresting us for it. And as time went by, I got pulled over. Well, what I got pulled over for doesn't make any difference, but I got pulled over, and the policeman came up and he said, "You're not wearing your seatbelt." And idiotically, I said, "I never do." And so he pulled out his thing and he wrote a ticket. And I think it cost me $35. But from that point forward, I said, I'm never ever going to spend my money like this again. And when I get in the car, I put my seatbelt on. And I listen for the little bell that dings if I don't. And sometimes I forget, and I back out of the driveway, and the little bell's still dinging. So I put my seatbelt on. And after going through that, about 30 days of putting my seatbelt on, every time I get in the car, it becomes automatic. I don't even have to think about it now. I just get in and I snap it. Well, it's the same thing, pulling yourself back from the future or pulling yourself forward from the past and being in the present moment. When you start to correct yourself and create that present moment living, after a while, it becomes automatic. And you'll find your life is so much more delightful. It's so much more delightful. It is so much more of a joy to be engaged in your life in this moment, right here and right now. So think about that as we go into meditation. Don't think about what happened earlier this morning or yesterday or the week before or the year before. Don't think about anything that might happen in the future. Just feel the presence of Spirit within you right now, this moment, comforting you in a pure state of being one with this moment. We'll now move into meditation.